Okay, let me start now. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Today we'll continue the topic on health series. Do we really need supplements? I remember that I didn't take supplement last time, as I believe that our body can absorb all the body nutrients from our diet. And you also realize that our parents last time um, might don't take supplement as well, and they survive well. And why we need supplement? So I only to start supplement when I come to know Songho product about 20 years ago. So today's topic is to understand, do we really need supplement or not? Okay, so the use of dietary supplement to complement health, do we really need them? I think that's a topic. So I'm not sure what's people's opinion, but in today's era, every household, everybody are taking supplements. So I think that's a trend. Okay, the presentation of the today is taken from this particular research paper, okay, um, by the president of Malaysia Dietary Supplement Association. Let me share with you a quote by this Dr. Charles Mayo. Normal resistance to disease is directly dependent upon adequate food, never from the pill boxes. Okay, so Dr. Charles Mayo actually is a founder of prestigious Mayo Clinic. I think you all know what's Mayo Clinic, right? This is a website actually contain a lot of medical information. I actually refer to this website for a lot of researching when I do the topic. So what he says, our body resistant to disease need to depend on the adequate food. So it means that it actually can depend on the food, not from the medicine or from the supplement that time. And we have to understand that time, adequate food means what? I think you look at the era. He's actually born in 1865 and passed away on 1939. So the era actually, there are a lot of wholesome food. What is the meaning of wholesome food? These include food which are not processed, does not come from canned food, nor frozen food, should not be part of fast food or ready-made snack that will surely not include junk food as well. So it means that the era, the adequate food, it actually refers to wholesome food. So it might not see the kind of food today anymore. So because we need wholesome food and can't depend on food alone for essential nutrients as per today, why I'll explain later. And our body needs 2 essential fatty acids. This one is a fact we need. 8 essential amino acids for adult, 10 for children. These are not essential amino acid means that our body cannot produce it. You have to depend on the food or supplement. 13 vitamin and over 70 type of mineral. And this is so-called essential nutrient that we need for our daily function of the body. So why the essential so-called the wholesome food not available anymore? What are the reasons? I think a lot of you all have understand why, but let me recap. The food today actually most of the time are going through commercial food processing. So this commercial food processing, like for example, people are doing like for example the rice, loss of trace of vital vitamin mineral. When the wheat, not only rice and wheat, wheat is we make into the flour, am I right? The one you eat, your bread, your cake, your meat or whatever is all made from the flour and it made from the grain. And the wheat grain is new. As a result, after he removed the we call the skin, 60% of the calcium, 40% of the chromium, 85% of magnesium, and the rest of the important mineral, including 72 to 81% of vitamin B and 33% of protein, are lost, including fiber. Actually, we are not eating this so-called food in a wholesome manner anymore. And because we grind, we meal away the important thing. Even for rice, we like to eat white rice, but essentially all the mineral is contained on the so-called the skin of the rice. That's why eating brown rice definitely much better, much healthier. But brown rice actually is not, people said not so nice. So I think that's the reason why we eat like to eat white rice. But the moment you mill away all the skin of the rice, then you actually lose all the thing. And in the 70s, the US Department of Agriculture surveyed about 20,000 people. They found not a single person was consuming adequate level of all the vitamin and mineral. Then in 1970, when I was born, what do you think today? Is the situation better now? I don't think so. And today we have more and more processed food. If you just go to supermarket, if you take a look of the shelf of the food, it's all processed food. And this is to tell you that the moment you process the food, you lose all the important nutrients. Second reason is soil depletion. I think the world population is increasing. The food supply from the earth is getting less to fulfill the demand of the people on the earth. For example, in Asia, lost about 76% of its mineral from the soil over the last 100 years. So it means that we actually keep on planting our agriculture on the same plot of land. Normally, last time maybe I believe 20-30 years ago, one year maybe plant one time, but maybe nowadays to meet the production of the demands, we might one year need to plant about 3 times on the same plot of land, and this will actually make the depleting of the nutrient on the soil. But of course, there's a way to make the plant grow better. So we use a synthetic fertilizer. Actually, it can stimulate the growth of the beautiful looking plant, including all the vegetable and fruits. But the fertilizer you put in does not contain a spectrum of mineral normally found in organic fertilizer. It means that you might see the same apple grow up, and we eat the same apple, but this apple compared to the apple 20 years ago might not be the same. The same rice we plant today compared to the rice we plant 10-20 years ago, where the soil is very fertile, the nutrient level is different. And to put the synthetic fertilizer, well, the plant will look very good, very beautiful. However, it only on the outlook, it look very fresh, very beautiful, but it doesn't mean that it contains all the nutrients that compared to last time. Unless you use organic fertilizer, which can be more expensive. There's a reason I think in Myanmar now we sell a company to sell all the organic fertilizer to the farmer. That is to actually benefit all the product that we plant on this soil that use this organic fertilizer. It gives you the nutrient that is needed. I think that is very important. Number 3, food storage and transportation. And what happened now is that our food source is nearer to us last time. Where maybe 20-30 years ago, the place we stay, very high chance that there's a farmer planting vegetable or the fruits to supply to you. But that time the transportation is not so advanced. So to eat the vegetable or fruits, you need to plant nearby, or every time, even in a neighborhood, or even ourselves, we also plant vegetable in our land. But today, due to urbanization, like for example in Singapore, even when people stay in Kuala Lumpur or Yangon, you cannot find any plantation or those vegetarian plantation near you. Easily, they are actually maybe 50 kilometers away. In Singapore, worse, we are importing vegetable and fruit from all other countries. Our supply of vegetable from this country is very little, and you have to transport them. If from Singapore, I think if you look at the causeway, the one link the Malaysia to Singapore, every day you can see many trucks transport vegetable and fruits from Malaysia to Singapore, and this transportation actually will make all the food or all the vegetable lose its nutrient level. And sometimes people stay chemical on it to make it look fresh. Like for example, some of the apple, it might look very fresh because they spray something on it, but it not necessary that actually that contain more nutrients. So the worst thing is that the fruits now, it's not what you pluck, you eat, because you have to endure day of transportation. The farmer might pluck it when it's half ripe, because you have to transport maybe a few days, so you let time for it to ripe. But when the food is not ripe on the tree, its nutrient level is getting less. So this food storage and transportation in today's era actually make the food actually have less nutrients. Okay, cooking of the food and deep fried is depleted of nutrient and is carcinogenic. We know that if you deep fry the food, actually it's not so healthy, am I right? But today era, that's how we cook the food most often. If you go to just outside, you look at hawker, you look at all the store that we have, most of the time it's deep fried food and people like to eat that. And compared to last time, when the oil is more expensive, I think you think about our father and grandfather time, we use little oil. A lot of things we just steam and just cook it. And this cooking of method of the food in today's era also make the food lose its nutrient level. I think that's the reason that we might need to look somewhere else to supplement our nutrient needed by the body. Okay, home storage of the foods. Okay, because we maybe don't want to go market every day to buy the vegetable, to buy the meat, or to buy the fish. So we buy and keep in the fridge. Then we can last for 1 week, 2 weeks, or even longer. So for example, look at my house. I got 2 fridge to keep the food. So the longer you keep, actually, it will actually rob its nutrient level from the food. So this is one of the things that actually not so good, but no choice. We are staying in urban. Ask you to go market every day, you're also very tired. Even if you go market every day, you go NDC every day, the food there also keep in the fridge. And another reason is that food aeration. Okay, actually to make the food last longer, sometimes when they do the packaging of the food, they go through X-ray or gamma ray. That is to kill all the bacteria. Then you can extend the shelf life of the food. But this X-ray and gamma rays shine on the food. You also remove the antioxidant and some of the vitamin away and destroy them. So while the food can extend its life, so-called shelf life, you also lose its nutrient level. I think that makes the thing not healthy. And besides putting all the fertilizer, synthetic fertilizer, to keep all the, to further enhance the production of the agriculture, we use pesticide. Last time, the yield of the plot of land for vegetable might not be high because there are a lot of so-called insect that actually bite the vegetable or our so-called vegetarian fruits or even fruits. But to keep that in away, so we use a lot of pesticide nowadays. We want to enhance the production of the fruits, the food source. However, this pesticide is not only poison to the insect, but it also poison to the body. Although they will claim that, well, we only use a very small portion of pesticide, you'll not harm the body. But remember, everything has pesticide now. Vegetable has some pesticide, and your fruit got some pesticide. Worst scenario, I will tell you later, you also eat poison from the food change itself. So when your body has more poison, your body has to deal with this poison problem by expanding variable vitamin and mineral to detoxify and try to eliminate this poison. What it means is that your body is very smart. He knows that your body has some toxin. He will try to detox the toxin away, but nothing comes for free. To detox all this, you need nutrients, you need vitamin, you need mineral. Try to detox all the toxin away. That's why people are taking vitamin and mineral or supplement just for one of the purpose is get the body to detox away all the poison in your body. So I think that's the reason. And another thing that happened for the last decade is actually more genetically modified foods. people realize that they put pesticide to kill the uh, so-called all the insect that attack the vegetable or the farm, and they found that it's not so effective. That they actually spend a lot of money. So they found that this thing called genetically modified food. So actually they modify the gene of the food until such that the insect dare not to bite. For example, corn, soya, cotton, and potato, especially in US. And it's this kind of food is very good. You know why? Because the insect dare not to bite. But a research talking into it, actually this why insect don't want to bite? Because it contains poison also. So when it contains poison to the insect, you definitely contain poison to the body. So actually all this GMO food, genetic molecular food, is actually not only affecting all the insect, but people are eating into it also have harm to the body. That's why a lot of people are don't dare not to eat a lot of all this genetically modified food. For example, the soya in US, they're mainly used to feed animal. So they are actually human are not eating all this. The soya and the corn in US, they are used to feed animal. They are not selling to people to eat. So can you think of this? So when this toxin is high, when we eat it for this genetically modified food, our body will contain more toxin. Then we need more nutrients to detox all this poison away. Okay, just now I mentioned that uh, we have toxin from everywhere. Okay, so actually from environmental, every year 15 million kg of chemical are dumped into our environment. Okay, so and all these environmental chemical contribute to degenerative diseases. Okay, and then this is a very proven. You can do a lot of research paper because of this pollution that causes a lot of problem like your lung problem. Your lung actually inhale a lot of all these pollutants, and this pollutant actually can irritate your eye, and this pollutant can damaging your heart when you inhale in, and there are many things. Okay, so and because of it, you will need dietary supplement to help you to process and detoxify the pollution enter our body every day. So there's another reason you might need. Okay, I thought about this reason just now. Bioaccumulation of pollution in animal foods. Just now we're talking about pollution in the air, but some of the pollution actually in the environment itself. And there are certain persistent pollutants that tend to accumulate in any living thing, whether animal or plant. The higher up in the food chain, the greater the accumulation. Okay, you look at the food chain. Who is the highest up in the food chain? I think the answer is very obvious. It's human being. So for example, we are the one who eat everything in this earth. Nothing can eat us. As well, today we eat almost everything. Who will eat human being? I don't think so, right? I think only recently got a very so-called shocking news that in Hong Kong there's a murder going on, and they're actually cooking. I heard they're cooking the body part to eat. So I think there's only happened once in the blue moon. So a good example of the presence of the mercury in our ocean, because we dump all the thing in the ocean, all the small fish actually eat all this mercury. Then the bigger fish actually eat all these small fish. At the same time, the body will go into their body. Then the big fish will eat the small predatory fish. Then who eat the big fish? Human being. So at the same time, they will accumulate mercury in the body, and that's one of the toxin. So that's the reason we even need more all these mineral and vitamin to help our body to detox this. Okay, another thing that happened to us is chronic stress. When you have stress in today's era, a lot of stress because we are staying in an advanced country, then our thing actually moving very fast. So we have a lot of all this chronic stress. Chronic stress produce hormones that have a long-term weakening effect on our body, which accelerate the aging process and lead to chronic degenerative diseases. It means that this stress actually affecting a hormone, and when the stress comes, you need more energy to counter all this stress. Your body need more energy. But where the all energy coming from? It's from the food you take, it's from the nutrients. So your body need more nutrients. Then look at the factor of lifestyle. Okay, for the smoker and drinker, actually because smoking and drinking is actually you consume alcohol and a lot of all these toxin as well. And that is actually sap all your reserve of the vital nutrient. You need nutrient to get out all the toxin. Your body is very smart. You cannot say body, you don't go and detox. Huh? I want to reserve all the nutrient in your body. You cannot. Body will know what to do because the priority of body is get rid of toxin from the body. If they never get rid of toxin in the body, your cell will start to slow down the process of renewal. Toxin will accumulate in the cell, and when this lead to a continue, then the cell might deform. This deform will cause cancerous. So I think that's another high risk of this. And athletes who do a lot of high performance exercise also use up nutrients compared to the average person. So the more you do exercise, the more you need to supplement nutrients. So I think that's lifestyle. Another factor is gastrointestinal problem. There are people who have some so-called gastrointestinal diseases like IBS, colitis, Crohn's disease, and diarrhea. And this actually causes the intestine not able to absorb adequate nutrients. And this is the thing that you need more and more nutrients. Senior citizens, they have lost their digestion power and they tend to eat less because of their biting issue. I think their teeth become weaker. So, and their intestinal also have lose the ability to absorb more. So in this case, the normal food they cannot eat anymore or eat adequately. So they need to depend on a lot of supplement as well. And look at the teenage and children now, and their diet is actually very unhealthy. A lot of children are not eating vegetable nowadays, even fruits. Most of the children are only eating maybe meat. I think it's very common. If you look at the children around us, you can realize that actually quite a big number of them are not eating vegetable. So if not eating vegetable, you shortage of part of the mineral and so-called and vitamin. So you will need supplement more than ever. Pregnancy, you need to, because pregnancy, you carry a baby, you need even more nutrients like doctor or gynae always prescribe folic acid, calcium, iron tablets. So that is why you need. Why today we cannot go away with all these supplements. It's a very interesting so-called, there is interesting factor called the flaw of food pyramid. Okay, if you look at this black color pyramid, this is the original food pyramid. So they recommend you need to eat more carbo, then followed by vegetable and fruits, and followed by your meat and dairy product. So this one is the old food pyramid, but there's some flaw in this food pyramid. So in 2005, the US so-called the food authority replaced the food pyramid with this with a pyramid with figure climbing out there. Okay, so this is a new food pyramid by 2005. It says that you need to do more exercise, okay, in order to be healthy beside this food pyramid. Then they found that actually this pyramid also got some flaw. You know why? Because we are eating too much carbo. So 2011, the USDA actually replaced it my plate. It says that actually we need adequate amount of carbo, protein, fruits and vegetable, and dairy product getting less. So actually they have more equal portion of all these things, vegetable, protein, and fruits, and another circle of so-called dairy product or the milk. So what does that mean? It means that if you never eat adequately, follow this food pyramid or the food plate, then we actually have an imbalance of nutrients needed by the body. So I think that's what we need, the supplements of nutrients. But a lot of people don't like to eat vegetable. Even a serving of the food outside is less vegetable. Okay, the last factor that we present today is endorsement by the medical journal. Through the research, now they have realized that Actually, a lot of reputable association, like for example, American Medical Association, last time we always talk about vitamin has no effect on body health, but then they reverse their thinking process or their decision. And the American Heart Association recommend omega-3 fish oil for prevention of cardiovascular problem. So not just taking normal food, we need supplement. So health supplement is important. Eating food alone is no longer enough to keep us healthy and disease-free. So we need to have some health supplement. Okay, so how to choose a health supplement? Well, you have to choose one that is very safe, don't cause burden to the body anymore, effective, easy to absorb and disseminate by the body to every part of the body to carry out the health functions. Convenient means that you can don't need to eat easily. Most of the supplements can eat easily, means that you don't need to cook the thing or whatever. So I want to introduce about four products that actually is our so-called supplement or nutrient product. One is pollen. Okay, I think I presented this in the Chinese session 2 weeks ago in pollen in detail, but today I only want to give a summary. So pollen is the most complete and natural wholesome for all. It contains more than 200 types of nutrients and 94 types of enzyme and coenzyme, and it's active, means that actually no need to break down by body, easy absorbed and utilized by body. And the synergy effect is because it contains vitamin, mineral, and enzyme coenzyme together that make it more wholesome. What does that mean? In order for the body to absorb something and utilize it by our body, you need a balance of vitamin, mineral, and enzyme coenzyme. Especially enzyme coenzyme, it's how to digest the food and help the body to absorb it. So pollen is very safe, and because it's actually contain 200 types of nutrients, is very potent, and it's active, it's not synthetic, and actually, for example, it contain amino acid, is a breakdown of the protein, and it's definitely fresh because it's the wholesome. So actually, it's very so-called synergistic effect. And compared with a lot of other vitamins, like all those synthetic one, the pure one, but it added with the filler, and when the body cannot digest or absorb, and it can be a toxin to the body. There are some isolated vitamin and mineral in the pill form. More in the time is a synthetic one, and it can be danger of overdose. For example, if you take in excessive synthetic A and D, it will build a toxin. Long term, taking excessive of B6 can cause nerve damage, and if you take high vitamin C, it can cause diarrhea. So our pollen is really natural. You don't have all these so-called problem at all. And another thing, our Yongan pollen is very safe. You're free from pesticide because the source of this pollen is from the Europe, and you have a stringent hygiene control. When you reach our factory then you will go through a low temperature sterilization, and it's actually approved by JHFA, Japan Health Food Association, for highest active ingredient safe level. Only 3 out of 21 companies awarded by this JHFA. Value for money, over 200 types of nutrients, including enzyme, coenzyme. So it's a very good source of vitamin, mineral, enzyme, coenzyme, and all the protein and nucleic acid as well. Okay, so this is Yongan pollen. So this morning, actually, one of my friend called from Malaysia. Actually, because he looked at one of the feedback, one of the Facebook posts talking about pollen. So he asked me a lot of questions on this pollen. I think there are a lot of interest on this. Okay, let me move on and talk about gel fiber. Gel fiber is one of our star product for our intestine. Why our fiber is so special compared to the rest of fiber in the market? Because it contains both soluble and non-soluble fiber. Okay, actually, soluble fiber, it can actually help to, for example, absorb your things like sweet, those glucose, so you don't actually make it your digest in a very fast manner. You can still digest, then they can prevent diabetic. Non-soluble fiber will actually add on to your peristalsis of the colon, so to prevent constipation. And our Jiahao fiber have this unique formulation called maltodextrin. It's proven to be able to regulate GI function, glucose level, and reduce cholesterol and triglyceride. And it's very low in calories, so it help in weight loss. So it's very safe, free from any laxative, will not become dependent on it. There are a lot of fiber product people eating outside. They claim that you eat sure run toilet. Yeah, I tried before. There's one brand. I eat within 2 hours I run toilet, even midnight. And we do not contain senna, because senna actually help you to is a form of laxative as well, but it has side effect of anxiety, difficult in sleeping, and high blood pressure. And it will not interfere with mineral and nutrient absorption. I think that's very good. Okay, let me move on to talk about protein powder. I think this is my breakfast every day. It's a unique formulation because it isolates soy protein, lecithin, and pine and bromelain. Okay, so I think this one will make your body absorb up to 95% absorption, no wastage. Because not many soya product in the market can help to increase such a high absorption for our body. And it's suitable for even for those patients who recover from operation, even kidney patients who claim they cannot take a lot of soya, and people have poor digestive system. So it's very thin, it's very good. And people don't scared to take soya because they say it will cause gout. Okay, because soya contain purine, but remember ours is isolated soya. It means that 10 kg of soya we only extracted to left only 1 kg. We remove all the purine away, so will not cause a gout. So actually old people is very good, like my mother last time, my late mother, actually taking a lot of all this soya because he don't eat a lot of meat already. So the soya actually give him source of important protein. Allergens, cholesterol, and fat is all free of this. And most importantly, free from aflatoxin, because this one is actually happen in the soya, especially if the soya not treated well. So this one is carcinogenic substances. The other one is lactoberry. I think this one is people like it. This contains 2 of the important strain of the bacteria actually approved by GRS. What GRS? Actually, it's safe for us. It's a safe kind of bacteria for us. It contains 2 of the bacteria, and this probiotic we call is actually for our intestine health, and it's a multi-coated probiotic. It means that actually we coated the probiotic in the live form, then with a lot of this prebiotic, a lot of food source for probiotic. So because multi-coated, so but the probiotic is live form, so it tend to kill by our body heat, even our saliva, even for the acidity in the stomach. And this actually can go down to our intestine and grow out 40 million within the 2 hours to few days. Okay, although it's only 2 million per sachet, yeah? And it's 100% natural ingredient. For example, it contains asomalt, cranberry powder, red berry powder, blueberry powder. This all act as the food to the probiotic. So it's the lactobacillus is a probiotic cum prebiotic, and up to 2 million per sachet. Some people claim that 2 million per sachet is not a lot. Other products are 4 million, but they are not multi-coated. Our 2 million eat into stomach can multiply to 40 millions. So it's a multifunctional use due to its special formulation. So we have many benefits of this. We have many testimonies of this, but today we're not talking this in detail. So conclusion, the doctor in Mayo Clinic have reversed their founder opinion by stating, if you don't eat the recommended 5 servings a day of fruits and vegetables, taking dietary supplement may be reasonable. So in today's era, so I think supplement is a trend, and not only the trend, but it's a must already, not just reasonable. Our Songhua product actually contain a lot of essential and wholesome nutrients, so I think you need to understand more. Okay, that's all for my presentation today.